This conference will now be recorded.
Today, we'll try to understand about one is prepayment invoice functionality. Prepayment invoice functionality. This is also majority, it is a part of finance, but something is related to T&L also. That is the reason we'll try to understand about prepayment invoice functionality. This is a little bit advanced functions. Prepayment invoice functionality. What is this prepayment function invoice functionality? This is if you want to do a payment to the vendor, we need to receive invoice copy. If we want to do invoice copy, then we need to receive like product receipt, and then I mean to say material receiving, and then only invoice will be received. So these are interlinked. So to accommodate this function, we are creating a temporary invoice. We are creating a temporary invoice, that is prepayment invoice. Let me show in the system first how it is working. Then we'll discuss here in the notepad what are the plus points and minus points. If it is anything, we'll discuss. First, let me show the functionality in the system, how to do prepayment invoice. Then after that, we'll discuss. Let me show you in the system first. I'm going to our company. Our company is IAL, am I right? Indigo Airlines. So I'm creating one purchase order. We can create purchase order from accounts payable module or procurement sourcing, anything. We can create a purchase order. Give me a second, it is taking some time. Okay, I'm creating a purchase order. Select the vendor. Select the site and warehouse. Select the item. Here, select the item. So suppose 10 quantity, each one is 850. So total amount is, sorry, this is my mistake. I need to enter the price, not discount. Give me a second. Purchase order is created, $8,500. Total amount is $8,500. Now, vendor is asking for some amount. Once if you pay some amount, advance amount, then only I can dispatch the material. This is customer as a vendor ask, because this is a new item, brand new item, the demand is more in this one. I'm selling these items only on cash and delivery, but you are asking me, you are my regular customer. That is the reason, if you pay some amount, then only I can dispatch this material. That is vendor condition. I need to pay some amount, but accounts department, they are asking like, give me invoice copy, then only I can pay the amount. As per the accounts, as per my company policy, I need to give one invoice, then only they will do the payment. So I cannot do invoice, because until and unless material is received, I cannot do invoice. So to accommodate this one, temporarily, we have a function called prepayment. We have a function called prepayment. In this, suppose 20%. So whatever the items you are going to select, you can select. Okay, here 20% means it is 1700 on 8,500. Otherwise, you can make fixed one. Either one you can have options. So in 8,500, 20% means 1700 was calculated. Or you can select fixed and you can enter whatever the amount you want. So I'm clicking save. This is prepayment entry. It was prepayment entry. Okay, next. As usual, usually we will do the confirmation, means your manager approvals, or it is verification of budgets. Everything confirmation is mandatory. I'm just doing confirmation. Now what I did, I have entered prepayment entry. I have entered prepayment entry. Now I'm generating invoice, prepayment invoice. This is my internal invoice. I'm generating and I will submit to my accounts department. Okay, this is, look at this one. It is showing the calculators category item, but not normal item. It is doing invoice for that category, whatever you have selected, and whatever the amount it was selected, that is coming here. and you can give the numbering whatever you want. Date. Now update mass status. It is passed already, no issues. So now if you want, you can see the totals. It is 1700. Click close. Now post. This is prepayment invoice. This is not actual invoice. Prepayment invoice. This prepayment invoice is generating against category. I may get error message. So let me get it error message. I'm expecting or I'm predicting some error message. Okay, this is expected. So what is this? Account number, transaction type, prepayment does not exist because this is a new company. I have not configured this prepayment ledger account. That is the reason it is hitting. Let me map that account. So inventory management, posting. In this purchase order tab, prepayment. So you need to map the prepayment account. What is the account it should be posted to? Prepayment. Checking. Let me try with prepayment. See, this one I'm mapping prepayment services, something I'm mapping. So it is a liability account, prepayment. Otherwise, if you want to show as asset, you can show as asset. This is contradict statements, but accounts, as per the accounts, if you are doing, if this invoice is not generated, I mean to say you are paying advance amount, you can map as asset. That is different scenario, but this is liability only. You are doing a selection of prepayment account. Now let me try to post a prepayment invoice. This is prepayment invoice. Prepayment invoice is generated against category but not regular item. Against category we are generating prepayment invoice.
Is raised the evaluator. That means it cannot be raised against the item, or it is just that we have choose.
It should be always, if you are against invoice, how can you, against item, how can you do invoice? It is not possible, am I right? Because if you are doing invoice means it is product receipt will be updated automatically.
Correct.
Makes sense?
Correct.
So we cannot do against item because we have not received item. Vendor is requesting some amount, advance amount. For that you are generating internal invoice to your accounts department. For what purpose you are purchasing?
So will this be counted as a part of category level consumption? If you take if you're managing the purchases at the category level as well, for service items and things like that, so this procurement or this payment will be considered as part of the category level purchase, or it will be reversed?
It will be reversed. I will show you that one. I will show you the impact. So this is a temporary invoice which you have generated for your finance department to pay, to do the payment. To do the payment, you have created one prepayment invoice. It is generated against one item. Okay, this is not actual item. This is generated against one category. Now, as per the you have submitted this invoice copy to your accounts department. Now, finance team, they will do the payment. They will do the payment against this invoice. So click new. Of course, payment journal I have not created. So this is finance part. I will discuss with you finance team in detail later. Let me proceed for creation of a journal name. What I'm doing, you are not sure what it is, but let me finish this one. It will stop you the process. Usually, I will show this one after, like I mean to say, in USMF company. In regular company, I will show, but here I'm showing you for in this company. Give me a second. This you will understand in next sessions. After 2 days, most probably it will be separated. At that time, I will explain you in detail about this one. Vendor disbursement. This is type, journal type is vendor disbursement. Journal type vendor disbursement. We need to create a journal vendor payment. So number sequence I have created. Number sequence I have created. This everyone can understand. This is for vendor payments. I have created one journal name, one journal, one voucher number sequence. Manually I have created. Once it is created manually, this is manual creation. Of course, finance team, they need to create a lot on this one. So I have created one journal. I have created one journal. So you are going to create so many journals for this one. We'll discuss in the coming sessions. So I have created journal name, lines. Select the vendor. Now settle transactions. Settle transactions against that invoice. Against that invoice. You need to do the payment. So this is invoice. Okay. 1700 against invoice we are doing payment. I mean to say our accounts department is going to do the payment. As of now, I'm doing cash payment because we have not created a bank. We'll create bank later. That is in finance, you are going to learn all those things. So now you can post. So payment is done. Payment is done. Now, once payment is done, vendor will send the material. Vendor is going to send the material, product receipt. Now, actually, what happened, if you want to see, the prepayment invoice and payment are settled each other. Let me show you what happened to the vendor account, vendor transactions. Accounts payable, vendors, all vendors. Now, if you go to this one, give me a second. Yeah, here, if you select undo settlement, the payment and the invoice, prepayment invoice and payment are settled. One is prepayment invoice, one is payment. Okay, so this is invoice copy, prepayment invoice copy, and this is payment. These two are settled each other. Now I have received material. I'm doing product receipt. Click OK. Okay, so the product receipt is updated. Now I'm doing invoice. Look at this here. If I'm clicking invoice, I will receive a pop-up message. So this is fine. Actually, current quantity value it is fine, no issues.
Okay. Mhm.
I'm sorry, there is a network issue. Okay. So here, if you look at this one, I think you are able to see my screen, right? You are able to view my screen and you are able to say, listen my voice, am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So yeah, whenever if you are clicking on invoice, then automatically one or more pending invoices have unapplied paid prepayment invoices are available to apply. To use this apply prepayment to apply the values in the select. So here you can, it is telling like you can apply the prepayment. So give me a second. It is in vendor invoice form, apply prepayment. Apply prepayment. That means 1700 invoice, whatever it was settled earlier, that you are selecting here and apply prepayment. Apply prepayment. Okay, then close. Give me a second. Why it is not populated here? Apply prepayment. Apply prepayment. So once if you click apply prepayment, the category item is updated with minus 1700. Minus 1700. Earlier we did it invoice for 1700. Now it is updating minus 1700 and update match status.
This is
Yeah.
the full invoice amount. So when there is a partial receipt and proportionate deduction and all, is there a functionality or this is we do it manually?
You can do it apply also, that partial invoice, for that partial invoice also you can apply, no issues.
You can change the amount of it.
Yes, yes. See, so you want to apply like some only you have
So when you
received.
pay 20% advance to the supplier, every time he delivers the material, the proportionate amount of from the advance will be reduced.
Yes. So you need to enter.
Okay, okay.
Its system will not do automatically.
Yeah,
Whatever
this
you
is
want.
good.
But within
Really.
the invoice, is do it. Yeah. Now you can post. Okay, now just I'm refreshing, cancel, and I'm opening. So one more 1700, it was settled against invoice, the regular actual invoice. Now you have received with this one, it will be updated here with vendor invoice with the invoice copy which you have received. So 1700 will be deducted from the actual invoice. So if you verify the transactions, it is invoice pending amount is not 8,500, it is 6,800. Look at this one. Actual invoice is 8,500, but we have paid advance payment 1,700. Then it is 6,800. Make sense?
Satya, actually, we are doing prepayment invoice 1 and doing posting for 1,000, and second time we are doing the actual invoice, that is again the 1,700. So when the actual invoice takes place, like for example, we see 6,800 here. So when this balance in transaction will come in effect in the system?
I did not get your last ask. What exactly your ask? I'm sorry.
So my doubt is, initially we have invoiced for 1,700 on the prepayment invoice, right?
Yes.
So our total invoice is 8,500, and our actual balance should be 6,800 when we reduce 1,700, right? So my ask is here, when this 6,800 will take in effect in the system? So
once it is actual invoice is posted, whenever you are posting, because you have not posted invoice at that time, it is not there, right? There is no invoice copy at all. Once you are generating invoice, at that time parallelly you are applying the prepayment invoice as well. So it is deducting that amount, and you are doing deducting that amount 8,000 like 1,700, and you are generating, actually invoice is generating 8,500 only. Look at this one. If you verify the invoice, the invoice copy which you have received is 8,500 only, but not 6,800. Am I right?
Correct.
So 8,500 only it will show. If you verify 8,500 only, but 1,700 whatever it was posted earlier, it will be reversed. Debit in. Look at this one. So 8,500 is the vendor balance, and cost of material also 8,500. Everything is 8,500 only, but 1,700 will be reversed with minus.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
These two are posted at the time of prepayment invoice. It's a kind of like a product receipt, how the application is working temporarily, and it will be reversed. The same behavior using.
Also, one more thing, Satya. When the internal documents are being made for the prepayment, does that affect the supplier aging, outstanding and aging?
Yes, it is impacting. Technically, it should not be. I agree with you. As for the business, it should not show, but we don't have alternative. Yes, I have received this kind of requests from different clients, but perfect question. As per the business, it should not reflect in the account statement and aging reports, but technically it is, invoice is generated. Technically it is, we have received invoice copy from the vendor. This is, in reality it is not, but we are generating like that. So as per the calculations and mathematics, that cannot be skipped, skipped. So if you want, you can do a small kind of customization. It's a customization.
Okay, the next one. So this is one way of generating an internal document to to enable finance to make the prepayment. And there are also situations where we ask the supplier to give the actual invoice as a pro forma invoice or actual invoice for the advance amount what he's asking for. It may not be against the item, but like what we are generating, same way he has to generate from the system as a blanket invoice or some sort of invoice, which is the original invoice as far as our concern. And in such scenario, we still make the prepayment internal document, and then how do we work with that? When we receive the actual invoice from the supplier that this is invoice for 1700, you pay me advance this amount. This is for the advance amount. And what he will do is basically whenever the release is the next delivery in the corresponding invoice, he will reduce the advance amount paid and then give the invoice.
So for that answer, there are 4 ways. In the very first, I told you 4 ways of invoicing. One is invoice journal without any item, purchase order invoice with material regularly, pending vendor invoice. I have shown you trading item, or I mean it's a non-stacked item or category items. Am I right? These 3 ways I have explained till now.
Okay.
4th way I have not explained. I have not discussed till now. Remember, I have not discussed. This will be covered if you are doing a invoice copy received without material. This will be used in Europe countries a lot. That means it will create. I will explain you this one later.
Okay.
Finance team, I will explain you. Purchase order creation, and then product is like a purchase order confirmation. Then temporary vendor invoice directly. Next, product receipt. Next, vendor invoice. This is one more function, that is this
okay.
one.
Then we'll see that later. Coming back to the same the prepayment again. I think if you are this part of the UAE world where the tax is paid, whichever happens first.
Taxes paid, whichever happens first. Okay, whether it is payment or invoice.
Yeah, whichever happens first, the tax has to be paid. So with the internal document, what we generate here for the prepayment, does it have the option to generate the tax as well?
No, it will not include taxes. It will not include taxes. It will not impact on tax amounts. It's only material invoice only. We don't have taxes, but charges, if you want to apply, let us see one transaction. Let us see how it will be impacting. But as per my knowledge, taxes will not be included in the process. Okay, we'll do one thing. I will create a fresh vendor so that it will be visible clearly, crystal clear for a new vendor. So during payment also you are going to do the payment like tax?
Usually what happens, the law says that whichever happens first, the tax needs to be considered.
Oh. That usually it will not be the regular scenario. Am I right? This first time I'm listening during payment like taxes paid means it is little bit
and that is why that is why the other scenario which I was referring to, most of the supplier, what they do is when they give the invoice, they give the actual invoice itself for the payment what they're asking for the advance payment. So
Okay, then
on the document itself, they would consider the tax, and it all will go by the tax. So next
then
invoice when they give, they will reduce the amount. So the taxes also will be reduced from the total invoice amount.
understood. In that case, this will be covered. We
Okay,
are generating.
yeah. Okay.
It will not be possible to use the prepayment invoice. Prepayment invoice not possible because that will not include the taxes.
We won't be covering the project-related prepayments and the sort of connecting with the project and all in this tool, right?
No. Project is not part of this one. So
Okay.
in this section, I'm not touching any project related. It is a separate course. So I know in Gulf countries there will be a lot of projects. Project management accounting utilization is a lot. That is a separate content value. Yeah.
No problem.
But you know that one like project operations value, new module.
Yeah. The new one.
Yeah. So the pop-up message is coming. So I don't want that pop-up message. So we know that one pop-up message, if it is coming, then we need to use approved vendor list. Otherwise, no check. Either one you can use in real-time scenario. For practicing purpose, always I will prefer no check. But in real-time scenario, it is adding the vendor list of vendors is the best practice. But I'm checking, I'm mapping no check, so that it will not create problems for any vendor. So for this also, let me verify, because new vendor created, it will start work asking like it is not approved vendor, it is not approved vendor. Okay, no check, fine. No issues. The warning message I have cleared. Now I'm just applying charges. This is 4,400. Freight charges I'm updating $44. Now I'm allocating charges. Allocate charges, allocate. So now if you verify the totals, it will be 4,444 amount total. $4,400 plus 44, 4,444. Now I'm applying prepayment invoice for 10%. So it is applying the charges, no problem. Taxes will not be. Okay, Velu. It is updating charges. It is including charges for this invoice, prepayment invoice. So one quantity 444.40. Something you can post. So remaining process is same. We can continue. So any doubts, any more clarifications, Velu, or anyone, please. Prepayment invoice functionality.
Is there any standard report available just to see the list of prepayments made and the corresponding status of in terms of the value of those POs?
Okay, 1 second. So regular process until
Because
and
we can
unless.
develop reports. Just want to see if there any standard.
Yeah. So it is available in accounts payable module. A grid, a kind of invoices, it is available in accounts payable module. Collapse all invoices. 1 minute. Inquiries and reports. Yeah, it is available. Give me a second. Some reports are available. Give me a second. In that case, it is available in the procurement sourcing, most probably, maybe. Inquiries and reports. It should be in accounts payable only. I saw somewhere else. Along with me, please look at screen. You will find some prepayment invoices. Otherwise, let me type. Accounts payable, purchase orders, open prepayments. Yes. Yeah. This is simple grid kind of invoices. Okay.
Yeah, this is fine. Right?
This is normal standard vanilla like invoice copy. So if you want, you can do modifications. Anyhow, it's not a big task for invoices. Yeah. Anything, any doubts? So not only Velu, everyone, please. This is one of the important topic, prepayment invoice functions. This is advanced topic, to be frankly, one of the advanced topic. Anyone? Is it clear to everyone, please?
Yes, Satyam.
Okay, good. Next topic, we'll try to understand one more topic, three-way matching principles. The matching principles, we'll see matching principles. So earlier, before this 1 week before, your major responsibility is listening. Your major responsibility is listening. Now your major responsibility is practicing. Your major responsibility is practicing means whatever the like how much knowledge I have, it is irrelevant to you now. Earlier, first 1 week, 10 days, it is responsibility, like how much knowledge I have is your question, whether I'm going to teach you properly or not. Now it is your turn, how much knowledge I have gained from this faculty. It is your turn. So from last 1 week, it is quite opposite. Now, not only listening, and you need to practice, and you need to come back to me like, I'm facing these challenges. I'm getting this one, I'm getting this one. If I'm doing like this, I'm getting this error message. It is your turn. Okay, you have paid fee, good amount you have paid to the institute, and you are getting now like you are slowly it is decreasing now. The graph is going to be decreased. I mean to say, my responsibility is decreasing now. Earlier, that my responsibility is give me a second. So I'm a kind of motivator as well. I'm sorry, I'm taking your time on this one. So this is the graph. Initially, my responsibility is like this. Now I'm in this position. My responsibility is going to be decreased like this. It is decreasing now. So I have started already decreasing. Now it is your responsibility. You need to verify the subject, whatever I taught, and whatever it is, suppose any 1 point, 2 points, if it is missed, then you need to check. It is your turn. You need to take care about your money. Means you have paid money, you need to get that output. So at the end, if you are wake up here, I cannot do anything. This is now your turn. Your responsibility is increasing. Okay, fine. Now let us understand matching principles. Matching principles. So there are three-way matching, two-way matching, or matchings. What is this matching principles means? At the time of purchase order, the price. At the time of vendor invoice, price. It should be compared because from the vendor we are receiving material. At the time of purchase order, he has committed one price, and at the time of invoice, he has committed another price. If it is the price is, suppose example, like a Xerox machine. Xerox machine, he committed like 1.5 lakhs. The new Xerox machine is 1.5 lakhs. Later, whenever I'm receiving invoice, at that time it is 1,50,200 rupees. I have received the price 1,50,200 rupees. So extra 200 rupees, whether it should be allowed or not, within the range or not, we need to compare. This is price comparison. In this price comparison, what is your company policy? You cannot check with your managers every time. It is very difficult. Your company has to have policy like within this percentage, 2%, 5%, it should be allowed. Otherwise, it should not allow. This is price comparison. This is price comparison. And PO quantity versus vendor invoice quantity. You can compare.
Satya, but why it is PO quantity versus vendor invoice quantity? Shouldn't it be GRN quantity versus vendor invoice?
Product receipt. All. This
Okay.
is called three-way matching. This is called three-way matching. This is called three-way matching. Next, total amount, PO total versus vendor invoice total comparison. All are matching principles. Vendor invoice, purchase order total versus vendor invoice total. And purchase order like charges, vendor invoice charges. All these things are available in the system. These are matching principles. These are matching principles. One is price comparison. One is price comparison. Next one is quantity comparison. Usually that is quantity comparison is very least priority because anyhow we'll receiving whatever the quantity receiving, for that we will do invoice. Total comparison, and another one is PO net amount comparison. Net amount comparison. I will discuss with you. These many comparisons are available in the system. Okay, so let me show you the price comparison. The price comparison. This price comparison is available in AX 2009 as well. The old version in AX 2009 also the price comparison is available. The price comparison is available. That is in accounts payable, policy setup, not this one. 1 second, charges, not this one. No, invoice matching setup, sorry. Invoicing matching setup, price tolerances. Price tolerances. Here you can define for all vendors, for all items, what is the price difference should be allowed? 1% should be allowed. We can select any combination. One specific item, one specific item, one specific vendor, combination also you can give, or one specific item group and one specific vendor group, also possible. So this is price comparison, price tolerance comparison. This is available in AX 2009 also. There is no change. It is available in the old versions. Now also it is available. It will be allowed the percentage, the price comparisons. But there is no hard rules here. It is only more about informative, the price comparison. It is available in more about comparisons only. There is no restrictions here. Whereas it was enhanced in 2012 and D365 in terms of amounts. Now look at this one. Accounts payable parameters. Here invoice validation. So second one is PO net amount, PO line net amount. PO line net amount versus vendor invoice line net amount. That is here. This one. Purchase price total tolerance. Price total means net amount. So how can you see here this one, net amount? Net amount is after discounts. So many people will confuse this is, they will think like price. It is not price. Price total comparison. You can configure price total means net amount. Here I have given some discount, then it will come here, and invoice also it will come net amount. That net amount and this net amount will be compared, that is here. Next, invoice total comparison. Invoice total comparison, this one percentage. Invoice total percentage. This one. Now, if you want three-way matching specifically, you can use three-way matching. Otherwise, if you want, you can skip only two-way matching. Two-way matching means purchase order versus invoice. Three-way matching means product receipt also will be compared. Okay, and if you don't want, you can map directly, not required. I don't want net amounts comparison at all. Net amount I don't want. I would like to verify the total amount is tallying or not. And the charges amount here. The charges amount. Understood? Any confusion here? We'll see in detail, but the concept you need to understand. This is total amount comparison. This is charges amounts comparison. This is prices comparison. As I told you, prices comparison is not in the parameter level. The reason behind this is available in AX 2009. So the same form was continued. It was not deprecated, because whoever is upgrading from 2009 to 2012, they will continue this one prices. This is price comparison, and many people think like this one is a price comparison. In accounts payable parameters, whatever it is there, prices, that is, people think like that is price comparison. That is not price comparison, that is price totals comparison. Price totals, look at this one. Many senior people also will be misunderstood. They will think like total tolerance means price comparison. No, this is not price comparison, this is net amount comparisons. Understood? Any doubt in this? First, before going to show in the system, you need to understand this concept. Sensitive information, advanced topic. At least clear, yes or no? Are you able to follow?
Yes, Satya.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So now what we will do first, price tolerances we have configured 1% only. We have configured 1%. Price tolerances, it is independent from the accounts payable parameters form. That prices means it will compare this field exactly. This field. In the vendor invoice and purchase order, this field will be compared. That is price comparison. Now invoice validation will map here. I'm mapping two-way matching. Suppose two-way matching, and I want here the percentage. Here only they have two options. The net amount comparison is you can do in terms of percentage or in terms of amounts. Remaining all are percentage only. In this we have amount comparison also, means here I have entered 4,000 in the vendor invoice line amount, net amount. It should not cross 4,020, $20 only. Then you can enter fixed amount $20. For all it is not possible, for all it is percentage only, but for this only it was extra given amount comparison. And there are another one also, percentage and amount together here. So 2% and $20 or $10 means it is percentage plus amount. Percentage plus amount. So usually I have not seen this one. Either we can map percentage or we can map amount, either one. It is not or, it is and. And means both together will be considered. If it is or, either one, but here it is not either, it is and. So usually I'm mapping, suppose the same 1%. This also should not cross 1%, but total I'm accepting like suppose 2%. 2% I'm mapping. Charges also I'm mapping, suppose 2%. Or sometimes it is required, maybe even 10% also required, because that is not normal, because material transportation, the truck, sometimes if it is increasing or decreasing, I want to allow for 10%. You can map whatever the percentages as per your requirement. Next, here allow with warning or require approval. So allow with warning means system will show you pop-up message and it will allow you to post, but that is not our target. Am I right? If you are enabling this one means usually I want system restrictions. So require approval. Require approval. So here automatically update the invoice header status. If you want, you can enable. That means whether it is passing or not, it will show you. Otherwise, you can click manually, suppose. Because if you are enabling, it is telling like little bit performance issue. we will do manual entry. Manual click the button will click. So we have configured 1% for price changes, 1% for price net amount changes, and 10% is this one and 2% this one. Require approval means either two options. One is if it is a vendor invoice workflow is enabled, it will ask for through workflow you can take the approvals, or manual approval also available. That I will discuss with you. Both options are available. Fine. So I have configured all those things. Now let me do a purchase order and let me do some changes and let me understand what is the errors and kind of thing. So I'm creating a new vendor, new purchase order, simple vanilla scenario. I will show you straightforward scenario. I'm creating a new vendor. Sorry, new purchase order with the vendor. Suppose John Enterprises. Eleven warehouse. So I'm selecting item 1000. Any item you can select, no issues. Suppose 10 quantity, each one is 1000. For easy calculation, I'm making zeros more. 10,000 is the invoice amount. Now charges. So transportation charges or freight charges. For easy calculation, once again I'm entering $100. $100. Now even though it is single line, you need to allocate this charge amounts. Otherwise, if you are doing confirmation, it will pop up a message. It will not allow you to do the confirmation. You have not allocated charges. Look at the message. Even single line also, it will not allow you. Operation cancelled, and you have not allocated charges. This we know. Okay, so as I told you, it should be allocated the charges. If it is item and vendor list, it should be allocated. So now let me allocate charges. Then charges will be moved from header level to line level. Now do the confirmation. Okay, now I'm doing product receipt. So anyhow, as I told you, three-way matching is only for quantity checkup, quantity validation, order quantity versus product receipt quantity invoice. So I'm not giving much priority on that one. That is not much important for me. Majorly prices, because for whatever the quantity I have received, I'm going to invoice. So I'm doing for all quantity. I'm doing for all quantity. 10 quantity I did it. So at the time of product receipt, the majorly it is quantity, items quantity. That is the major impact. Now I will do invoice. So generate invoice. During invoice, I have received copy, invoice copy. Now the price is not 1000, it is 1500 or 1100. Take the example 1150 something. Give me a second. Okay, so now what I'm doing, I have received this invoice and it is confirmed. I cannot modify the confirmation of order. Now like this I have received 1150 I have received. Now look at this one, update mass status. Price failed, comparison, total failed, and this also failed. All are failed. Now if you try to post, it will not allow you to post the invoice. It will throw error message. Okay, sorry, invoice number must be filled in. This is minimum basic information we need to map, because this copy you have received from the vendor. Invoice date is not mandatory but optional, you can do it. Now I'm posting. Now I will get an error message, matchings are failed. You cannot post a transaction. Understood? Matching errors are there, it should be approved. Matching errors are there, it should be approved. So it will not allow you to post the invoices. Now I'm going to this pending vendor invoice. So let me go to pending vendor invoice. Click on edit. I have taken margin like a lot, 15% I have taken. Suppose this invoice copy I have received, until and unless it is passed, it will not allow you to post. Understood? Until and unless all are passed, this should be passed majorly, this should be passed, then only it will allow you. If it is failed, as long as it is failed, you cannot do the posting. Understood? Now suppose I have received at the rate of 1050. So update mass status, still it will be failed. Suppose 1010. Look at this one, it is passed, and update mass status, it is passed. That means Even though the deviation is $10 is deviation, system will allow you to post. So it will validate because this is within 1%. Within 1%. Okay. Now charges. Earlier we have posted like 100. Now I'm changing this charges to the transportation charges which I have received. It is 150 suppose, or 110. 110. Now verify update match status. It will be failed. The total amount will not be matched because total amount is failed. Total amount is failed. So you can compare earlier what is the total amount, now it is the total. What is the total amount? Earlier it is 10,000 plus 100, 10,100. Now it is 10,210. That is not within the 1% range. It is not within the 1% range. So where I can see in detail this, you are telling like percentages, changes, passed, failed. I want to see all together in one place, means we have option called review matching details. So actual amount purchase order is 1000 and invoice amount is 1010. We have configured 1%, so it is passed. So prices fine, no issues. Quantity, so there is no performance, no, not required, not performed because we have not enabled. Invoice totals. So initially 10,100. This is 10,210. On this 10,100, 1% means it is 101. So up to 201 only it will be allowed, the total amount. But it is 210. So that is the reason it is not allowing. Understood? Suppose this amount is not 1000. Give me 1 second. Charges are passed. Look at this one. Charges are passed. Now suppose this amount is not 1010, it is 1009 only. 1009 only. Then if you update match status, it will be passed. Even it is failed, $9. Let me verify what is the totals. Match details. The total amount is maybe failed. We'll see. So the total invoice, what is the amount? It is 1000. Earlier it is, the total amount is this one, 1200. This is passed. This is passed. Charges failed. Why charges failed? 1 second. This is a small kind of bug maybe, because charges are passed. This is passed. Charges are passed, and it should be passed actually. Why it is showing charges failed? Total amount, invoice amount is 0.99. This is fine. This is maybe a bug kind of thing, sorry, because charges should be passed, because it is showing passed, it is showing passed, but in the total amount it is showing failed, which is not correct. Let me change to some amount, small amount, but see, it is not in my control. Like small bugs maybe exist, because I told you like in 10.0.13 we have some bugs. Let me change it to 09 something. It should be passed, this one. This should be passed. Why it is failing, I don't know, but let me change it to suppose 108 or 7 maintenance charges. I'm changing it to $108. Within that 10% range only. Update mass status. Failed. It's not, it should not be failed. So prices are passed, clear, within the range, prices passed. Quantity we are not touching as of now, because it is three-way matching, two-way matching only we are using. So invoice totals, it is failing for the total amount, but the charges comparison is passed. It is passed, right? Because within 10% range. So this is invoice totals matching details. Actually, this is variation is, it is telling like failed. This is a bug, kind of bug.
You have to
Okay.
reopen the invoice screen. Probably that might help.
Sorry, refresh.
Probably you have to redo the invoice from beginning. Yeah, either refresher.
Okay, we'll do that one. Okay, let me do for fresh pending vendor invoice. Let me delete this pending vendor invoice and let me type. Yeah, whatever you said, it sometimes refresh issues. Let me delete this one and let me recreate. Sometimes modifications may not be reflected properly. Let me try that one. So let me close. Close. Refresh. Let me do invoice. vendor invoice 43-01 something, invoice date. So let me enter 1009 only. Okay, and then let me enter the charges, financial charges. $1,005. I will enter 1005. Now let me verify update match status. Let me verify, give me a second. Charges. Why both? Why these two are available? I don't know. Why it is given two forms? So it should be passed. It could be a bug available, most probably, because it should be passed. Because if you go review matching details, it was clearly there, invoice matching and everything. So here price comparison and the price unit and comparison, discount amount, multi-line discount, it will be compared all one by one at the time of purchase order and at the time of product receipt, sorry, at the time of invoice, all it will be compared, and this will be comparison in terms of quantity, and it is comparison in terms of totals. So totals, if you look at this one individually, compared charges, it is passed, and compared charges, it is passed individually. This is passed. Now, if you go inside invoice totals comparison, the form, if you go inside invoice totals matching details, so it is not capturing the passed information. Charges comparison. It should not be 5. Expected should
What is the
be
variance we allowed, Satya? 10%, is it?
10% we have mapped. Okay, no issues. If it is this kind of issues, then you need to raise a request. Most probably, it will be
And there is
passed.
1% there on the tolerance amount. What was it?
Which one?
Just show me that the other screen where you set up the percentage and all.
Accounts payable parameters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So purchase price tolerance amount is 1%, is it?
This is net amount. Price net amount.
No, but on net amount, you would expect only 1%, but on here you expect 10%, is it?
No, which one you are telling?
So on the matching prices is 10% tolerance allowed. On the total net amount is only 1%, is it?
See, this is total invoice amount. Total purchase order amount the purchase order total amount versus vendor invoice total amount. This one. This is net amounts.
For us, in
Purchase
this case, net amount and total amount are the same because there is only one line.
Yeah, if it is one line, it may be same, but in general, always we need to compare the field to field properly. We should not mix those two, am I right?
So here you're saying that the total invoice total matching is 2%, is it?
Yeah. So
2%.
that is the reason it is showing 2%.
Yeah. So that means on the charges you can only have 2%.
No.
The total, if you check the total, it is more than 2%, right?
No.
Is it?
Past. The total amount is 1,100. Am I right? Initially, 1,100. Sorry, 10,100. Am I right? That is a 10,000 price and amount.
101, 101.
1% means it is 101. That means 10,201 up to 10,201 it should be allowed. Agree with me?
Yeah.
So that is the reason totals are passed. But whenever it is capturing the charges from here to here, it is failing. This should not be failed. It is actually this 100 should be here and this should be here. Understood?
No, expected is 100, which is correct, and what is current is 105. That is also correct, but with the variance of 5%.
Okay, then it is the comparison is failing here. It should not be failed. It should be passed because this is passed here. See, independently it was passed. Independently it is passed, and whenever it is combining at the time of invoice matching, they are mistakenly failed. Understood? So this is a most probably bug may be fixed because this is, as I told you, this is the oldest version. I mean to say more than 1 year old version. If you look at this one, this is 10.0.13. It is 10.0.13. 13 version is more than 1 year old version. Okay. 90% will be fixed in the latest version. Fine. Okay, it will be passed. So if in case, let me do it for only 1%. The charges only 1%. Let me try, or let me map it to 100 only. I will not touch these charges. Then it will be passed. So charges comparison is something logic is missing. Logic is missing. Let me map to 100 only. At this point. Now it will be passed. But it should be passed actually even 10% also. Now update match status. Sorry, this is match product receipt. Not required. It is not performed and not required. So now update match status. It will be passed. It will be passed because even it is within the limit. This is within the limit and everything is within the limit. If it is passed, then only you can post the transaction. Otherwise, you cannot. That is must and should. It should be passed. This is passed because within 1%, even 0.01 also it will be failed. Everything is passed, and quality we are not using quantity like product receipt comparison. Next, invoice totals matchings. So it is passed here. This is also passed, and now it is passed. So here the logic is missing. Okay, in case if it is more than the percentage, means I mean to say, as we discussed, this is if it is passed, you can proceed with the invoice. There is no hurdle here. Okay, you understood now. You can post. Now suppose I have received at the rate of 11. Then it will be failed. It will be failed. Now total it is failing. So what I have to do? Can I stop the invoice? No. I can discuss with offline. One is one option. Otherwise, if it is workflows are there, I will raise a workflow. My manager will validate this one, and whether it is allowed or not, he will validate. Okay, it is failing. As per the company policy, it is failing. Okay, as per the company policy, it is failing. So the total amount is passed, but price is failed. The price amount is failed. The total amount is passed because it is total is 2%. 2% means 2 not 2. 10,100 plus 2% I have mapped here. I'm calculating 1%, but it is 2%. 2% means 202. Up to that one, it will be allowed. So invoice matchings, validations, I have mapped 2%. 2% means 202. That is the reason it is passed. The total amounts are passed, but independently prices are failed. Prices comparisons are failed. Genuine. Now there are two options. You can take approval like through, you can send a invoice workflow. If it is invoice workflow is there, vendor like that will be approved by your manager. You are not going to take the decision. It is approval is waiting for your manager. Otherwise, suppose you are not using workflows. Then offline you have taken approval through email. Your manager has approved through email. Then you can go here and you can take approval and you can proceed. You have taken approval offline. Either workflow or here also. You have taken approval and it is failed. To be frank, it is failed. Still it is failed only, but I need to do invoice. So I'm posting now because I have enabled approver checkbox, then it will be posted. This is final attempt. Brahmastra.
Hi, Satya.
Yes, please.
In one of the implementations, we had the retail and FMD running in the same company. So is there a way, I know that it's under payroll parameters, it is only one field. We don't have it based on the item group or basically any other category. So because FMCG always, or not FMD always comes with almost 10% of variance. based on the quantity. Because if you want to say that I want a 50 kg chicken, like you will not get exact 50 kg anytime. You will always have the variance. So one is that we have over delivery, under delivery, we had configured on the purchase order. So the quantity GRN used to go through.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to invoice, we used to get some challenges in this. How do we handle this scenario? And the variance in retail would be less, but in F&B the variance should be more. So different items, or based on the item group, we can say any other category, the matching principle should have differences. So is there any other way of handling apart from that manual process?
No, we don't have this one. As I told you, like, see, in this case, as I told you, one is option is like for all you are mapping only 4%, 3% for retail, and whatever the kind of thing, you need to give offline approvals. You need to give offline approvals, and he should do approve from this one. This is the only option. Otherwise, it is a little bit medium or big customization. It's a customization only.
It's this was one of the challenges, and we actually approved them workflow related instead of manual. We assigned them workflow related thing.
That is the only option. Yeah, workflows. Your manager, like manager, can take the decision by looking into the percentage. There is only one option. We don't have alternative.
One more thing, if the user does a mistake while creating the invoice, this is related to the prepayment, he had to select the prepayment line in the option of the purchase. Now the user forgets to mark that, and he posts the invoice. Obviously, it cannot be now corrected. So how do we go and do correction of this mistake?
It is available. Apply prepayment. So we have an option called apply prepayment in the vendor account. In the vendor account, if he forgets, we want to apply. Give me a second. So in the vendor account, invoices, prepayment apply. You can use this one. Here it will show. This is not invoices, but you can do this one, apply prepayment. This is simple one only. It will show you the invoice copy. This is invoice and this is amount, and you can apply prepayment.
Okay, so all right. Then it'll, when we generate the next payment journal, so it will only generate only for the difference instead of the full value of the invoice.
Because invoice is generated for 850, 800, 8,500. Earlier example, 8,500. It will show you 8,500 only, but I need to apply 1,700. That you can use
here in this case. Yeah. When we apply this, when we create the new payment journal, so at that time it will only create for the difference.
No, you have generated invoice. Sorry, you have generated invoice now here. Am I right? You have forgot
8,500. Yeah, 8,500 invoice generated, but he forgot to apply the line. So here is the place where he will come and apply. When the payment journal is created, that time he'll consider this, and only the difference is considered for the payment.
Yes. Because it straight away, instead of 8,500 invoice, it will show you 7,800. 6,800. Sorry, 6,800. It will show. Otherwise, it will show you 8,500.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah. Anything else? Left side it will show you invoices. Right side it will show you prepayment invoices. Just you are knocking off. Anything else? Anyone? Okay, it is debated. So understood now. This is three-way matching principles. Okay, as I told you, so day by day the topics are becoming complex. So particularly in this week, company creation process is most important, particularly for finance consultant. For finance consultant, whoever is looking for opportunity in the market, you need to do 15 times at least. Try to do 15 times and the company creation process. So in continuation, like most probably in another 2 days, from Wednesday onwards, it will be separated. Wednesday onwards, it will be separated. Only for today, it will be combined session tomorrow. Today and tomorrow only. Next session is it will be separated. We'll have separate finance and separate T&L. So your task is you need to practice and you need to come back to me with the doubts. If you are not asking me any questions, if you are keeping silent, and if you are coming back after at the end of the course, then if you are coming, it is very difficult. We have started 1.5 months. It is already 1.5 months over. Okay, so I'm requesting you, whatever the amount you have paid for that, you need to practice. Okay, in 5 minutes I can
expect to have this calls sessions, Satya?
Sorry,
How long more we expect to have this session? I mean, the sessions.
yeah,
I mean,
up to this month end, Pakka.
okay.
It may be extended 1 week, maybe, most probably. It may be extended 1 week. Up to 1 week, I'm expecting. Maybe in the August first week, it may be completed. But like, see, I'm not in a hurry to close. That is not in my intention. But
we have more time to practice and come back to you. That is why I was asking.
That's what. Yes, exactly. Fine. So I'm stopping here for today. I'm stopping for in a 5 minutes. Yeah. Yes, please.
Satya,
Yeah.
Imani here.
Yeah,
Actually, you have given the number, one of the number to get installed. Do you have that number? Maybe I missed out.
Yeah. I'm giving you. So the person name is 94942.
Okay.
54826. 94942 54826. Rajashekar.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you.
Okay. Fine. Anything else, team? Anyone? So I'm stopping here for today. We'll connect once again tomorrow morning. Tomorrow it is like a combined session is the last session. So tomorrow I'm showing you implementation methodology. Of course, senior people it is very simple, but for junior people it is a little bit complex. You need to understand implementation methodology. Okay, fine. See you all. Bye.